another magnificent night and highly efficient. Look at those numbers, 37 points. He takes 20 shots, 8 of 13 from 3, just 4 rebounds, and you see at the bottom there, tying the school record for most points. I mean, just again, a systematic, typical Oklahoma winning performance. Oregon was a notch below its typical level of winning basketball, and that was the difference.
Yeah, I like to shout out Jordan Woodard and
Isaiah Cousins.
And Isaiah Cousins, because for me, when I watch them play, what they do for Buddy Hield, they allow him to have no ball handling responsibilities from free throw line to free throw line at times, which allows him to be out on the court and space the floor and allow him to be a scorer. Because they're so good, especially Cousins, at bringing the ball from free throw line to free throw line, that enables the whole Oklahoma offense to go and let a scorer be a great scorer. Now, he's not just a regular guy out there, so he's a great scorer to have that spacing, but to have as a two guard, no offensive responsibility from free throw line to free throw line of handling basketball, that's an incredible freedom.
Go and do what you do.
That's an incredible freedom to have, and those guys give it to him. So shout out to those two guys as well.
Well, listen, number one, they didn't do a good job on the boards, and they had too many turnovers. But to me, this game was about Buddy. Greg, sometimes I think we get caught up in the X and O's. This was just about a joke. This kid, going back to not the last game, but the game before when he scored like 30 points in the second half, he has been amazing. He's been the best individual player in the tournament. But the point I want to make is the stars have to be stars. Like, you can have all these role players doing what you want to do, but this was about a star putting a team on his back saying, we're going to the Final Four, boys, get on. That was amazing. This goes back when you talk about Danny Manning and the Miracles. Like, boys, get on my back. We're going to the national championship. We're going to the Final Four. Buddy Hield said, boys, jump on the wagon. And they got that Boomer Sooner thing. It's a wagon. He had them hitched up today.
He did not look like he was suffering any big game pressure. No. He hit 8 of Oklahoma's 12 threes on the day. Oklahoma shot 12 of 24 from behind the three-point line.
Also, if you want to be realistic, Oregon outplayed them in the second half. They just got down too much because of the offensive rebounds and turnovers. But every time they made a move, Buddy.
So Oklahoma cuts down the nets. Meanwhile, we remind you, coming up next on CBS, it's Villanova and Kansas. The Wildcats breeze past Miami in the Sweet 16 behind 21-9 from junior Chris Jenkins. The Jayhawks are riding a 17-game winning streak led by the dynamic duo of Perry Ellis and Wayne Selden Jr. Now it's time for the Capital One Venture Card Double-Double of the day. Tonight we feature Jayhawks forward Landon Lucas, who scored 14 points, had 11 rebounds in the school's Sweet 16 win over Maryland. That was Lucas's third double-double of the season. We'll take a timeout, and we'll continue with more after this.
There is a revolution coming, like a perfect picture on glass.
What is it?
It will change everything. They want to stop it, because the future belongs to us. LG OLED, a perfect picture on glass. The future is staring back at you. LG OLED TV.
So welcome to the show. Bring on all the lights. Let it shine on you. We're together here tonight. Welcome to the show. Welcome to my life. Welcome to the show. Welcome to my life. Welcome to my life. Life. My life. Welcome to my life.
Welcome back to Capital One Tournament Central, everyone. Before we talk tonight's second game, it's time for LG Presents by Duke Game Day Right. The many different colors that make up the world of college basketball, from the team to the cheerleaders to the fans. That's how Villanova and Kansas fans are doing Game Day Right. The Oregon Ducks on the short end of an 80-68 regional championship. After the Oregon-Oklahoma game, our Allie LaForce talked with Ducks head coach Dana Altman.
Coach, what a journey it's been. This team has accomplished so much. As you look back, what will you remember about the way that this team fought all season?
Well, we did compete. We had a bad first half. We didn't come out to play, got down 13 on the boards, and those second chance points the first half really dug a hole that we couldn't come back from. But, the guys have played well all year. We didn't shoot the ball very well. We had some opportunities to get back in the game with some threes, and we just didn't hit them. And then, we just didn't do a good job on Buddy. He got it going and got it going from a lot of places. And I thought Elgin was on him pretty good, but he had some tough shots.
Meanwhile, as we look ahead to our next game, earlier we had a chance to speak to Kansas head coach Bill Self about his keys to the game in Northwestern Mutual Planning for Success.
You got to get to the shooters, and that's hard to do because, if you get to the shooters, a lot of times that opens up driving lanes as well. So you got to do a good job taking away shots off the catch and keeping the ball out of the paint. And then with Jay's teams, at least it's been, when I've watched them and played against them in the past, to me 50-50 balls are as big a key as anything because they do as good a job of getting 70-80% of those balls most every night that they play.
Coming up, we have more Capital One Tournament Central coming your way. Meanwhile, out in Anaheim, California, the Oklahoma Sooners and the championship trophy from the West region.
This is for the doubters, the naysayers, the ones who said I can't. That no matter how hard I try, it's not my destiny. Well, this time I proved you all wrong. Because I can, and I will. Finish Sonic's new Ultimate Chicken Club. It's just gonna take me a while. Like until tomorrow.
This is Capital One Tournament Central.
One game for the national championship, the Kansas Jayhawks against Oklahoma. City as the Jayhawks beat the Sooners 83-79.
When Wayne Selden Jr. first took the court for the Kansas Jayhawks back in 2013, many thought he'd be a one and done, a short stop in college on the way to the NBA. But staying in Lawrence has turned out to be a good move for Selden as he hopes to write the next chapter for a program steeped in basketball tradition.
When you hear Kansas is interested in you, you got to feel honored. Just the feel this place gave me, the family-like environment, the fan support, and just how it was here really sold me. When you walk into the field house for the first time with all the fans, and that's when you really start to feel it and you really start to acknowledge it. I didn't know what to expect. Coming in as a freshman, you can't really predict the future. So, I just really came here to get better and just try to help my team win.
But less than stellar freshman and sophomore seasons,
off the mark by Selden,
combined with poor performances in the NCAA tournament, kept Selden in Kansas. Meanwhile, fellow Jayhawk teammates made the leap to the pros.
I think it was a reality check for us all. Any human is going to get caught up in the hype. And, and then it's kind of this step back and realize that everybody has their own path. And you can't compare yourself to other people.
Everything happens for a reason. I feel like I had to go through those things to get to where I'm at right now.
And where Selden is now is one of the top scorers and, more importantly, veteran leaders of a #1 seed Jayhawks team that's playing in its first Elite Eight in 4 years.
Good night.
He's more confident and he's more of an alpha dog this year. I guess he wasn't as sure of himself when he first got here, but now he's stepped into that role as one of the lead guys, and he's just been tremendous for us.
Oh, what a beauty.
His confidence soaring. He wants to make up for lost time, having a big NCAA tournament.
You can't really compare my freshman year to me now because it's really just two different situations.
Perhaps the biggest difference in Selden's current situation is the result of a call he made to his mother last summer.
So he called me and he was like, what do you think about just moving here?
Well, I grew up in Roxbury, Massachusetts, and it's really two different sides of the world. It's the inner city and stuff's not always the best there.
And at first, my youngest son was like, who's gonna move to Kansas? I don't wanna move there, But then I explained to him, for your family, you sacrifice. And if he's asking us to come, we should just go and just see how it is.
Me and my mom are really close, you know, and growing up, you know, she was tough on me and my little brother, and I feel like that's what made us closer now. So just her being around, somebody to talk to, you know, just get my thoughts out. She comes to all the games, you know. It's just been a great support for me.
Basketball is his life. He's mine. But I'm sick of the barbecue already. I'm over it.
When I found out she was out here, I was happy because I knew I would get some food. So, and she's a great cook. I guess it's helping him out because he's playing a lot better. So, shout out to his mom.
I mean, I think that may have played a small role in it, but he's doing well because he's been determined to get better, and he's grown up.
Everybody has to mature on their own way. Everybody has to progress their own way. And, you know, I'm just staying the course. In any career, there's always only one perfect ending, and everybody knows what that is. Winning heals all.
And there is Wayne Selden Jr. as he prepares for the Villanova Wildcats. And for the second time today, we have a #1 seed going up against a #2. How's this one going to go?
Well, both of these teams have been playing exceptionally well, particularly Villanova in the tournament. They've shot it very well. They've taken care of the ball. They've done what they do at a high level. They've ramped it up for the tournament. Kansas has done the same thing in a different way. I like Kansas's overall comprehensive versatility at both ends of the floor as the reason that I picked Kansas to move on and prevail.
I like Kansas also. I think Villanova's a great three-point shooting team, obviously, but I think that Kansas has a defensive ability to play them out on the perimeter. I think the difference is going to be the big guys down low. Villanova has one big guy. Kansas has 3 or 4. I think they're going to be able to wear them down. But those guys on the perimeter, Kansas is good enough defensively that Villanova won't shoot 60% like they have pretty much every game this entire tournament. I think Kansas has the ability to slow that down.
Well, I'll be the odd man out and go with Villanova, but I just want to do shout out to Wayne to Selden Jr. Because his thought process to stay in college and not be a microwave and bake. When you look in the oven and you bake, it looks like it's never going to be done, but it will be if you take your time. So I applaud him for that. We were talking about the story. My junior year, Dean Smith brings me into the office and says, you know what? If you go in the NBA this year, you could be 10 pick or 16 pick. I said, Coach, I thought you were calling me out for missing a study hall. So I didn't even think he was talking about and I walked out the office. There's no way in my mind I was thinking about that. I knew I wanted to be a 4-year thing. I think that is what's right with college basketball, guys who know when to say when.
And you know what? I've had some of your wife cooking. You better keep a microwave around.
Earlier this evening, we decided to have a little fun here in the studio. We had some guys sit in for us at halftime. Oh, my goodness, which just leads us to Just Ask, brought to you by Alexa-enabled Amazon Echo, and it comes from that halftime segment. Chuck.
Oh, my goodness. People take a shot at me?
I thought there was already a Charles Barkley Muppet.
Hey, man. Hey, man. That's funny. That's funny.
That's funny. That's funny.
It is funny.
Kansas and Villanova just minutes away. A 1-2 clash in the South Region. See you back here at halftime.
One step from the Final Four. 2 teams who are no strangers to success. 3 wins away from being able to hoist that coveted championship trophy. It's been 31 years since Roley's Underdogs brought Villanova its national title. And back in 08, it was Mario's miracle that propelled Kansas to its most recent triumph. Now, in 2016. The road to Houston goes through Louisville. Tonight it's the South Regional Final. Number 1 versus number 2. Kansas and Villanova, 2 of the nation's best. Only one will advance. ticket has already been punched. It belongs to Oklahoma. Which team will be next to qualify for Houston? Will it be Villanova or Kansas? A game taking place here in Louisville, Kentucky, the South Regional Final. A matchup of two teams that enjoyed a #1 ranking at some point during the regular season, and Kansas coming into the tournament as a #1 overall seed. Hello, friends. Jim Nance, Grant Hill, Bill Raftery, Tracy Wolfson. It's going to be a special night here. Should be a great matchup.
Jim, two very dynamic teams playing in what I think will be the best regional final this weekend, Coach.
Both teams like to push it and take the first good shot. Right up your alley, by the way. But it's going to be all about the defense.
Well, also all about the seniors, because there's some good ones in this one. Perry Ellis of Kansas about to play the biggest game of his career.
Jim, without a doubt, Perry Ellis, the captain, the elder statesman, does it all for Kansas. They move him outside for the jump shot. They get him down low. Coach, he just seems to make the big shot when the team needs him to. He's got to be big here tonight against the Villanova Wildcats.
And for Villanova, it's the arch to triumph, right, Archie Adako. He can step out, make the big three, but I think it's the middle game that's going to be very important for him. Great leadership qualities, a winner. He's going to have to play big this evening.
Well, his coach, Jay Wright, had a chance to visit with Tracy just a moment ago. Let's listen in.
Thanks, Jim. Coach, this team is just so balanced. Where do you start in terms of trying to contain them?
That's what makes them a great team. You know, they can hurt you inside, and they've got a lot of depth inside. Their guards can do everything. They can shoot threes. They can put on the floor. So you can't play them just one-on-one. We got to play them as a team.
You said that this was going to be a heavyweight battle. So what does the fight come down to?
Well, I said that because they asked me that in the press conference. I didn't mean to make it so big, but it's because they're playing so well. They play great, and we play great all year. But I hope it comes down to a close game and somebody makes a big shot at the end. And if we both play really well, that's the kind of game it should be.
We wish you the best of luck. Thanks so much. Jim?
Okay, Tracy, they have not played close ones to this point. They both have been dominant. In fact, Villanova's won by an average of 24 a game to get to the Elite Eight. Kansas's margin of victory, 18. So, we're going to have the tip-off coming your way for a spot in the Final Four. Villanova and Kansas coming up on CBS.